Stampers, Jackie Bolhuis from Zeeland, Michigan. Look at the fun, springy cards I have to share with you today. I have tons of tips for you guys today centered around using very detailed dies in your big shot. So we're going to play with these butterfly thinlits, and we're going to talk about the Gingham Gala Designer Series paper, which right now is one of my favorites, and this just makes me feel like spring. So lots of tips coming your way. So before I get started, just a quick reminder, make sure you subscribe, share my videos with your friends. Don't forget to leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up. That's what makes me happy and makes my day so I can keep doing videos for you guys. Remember, we're all about quick and easy card making. Nothing I do is hard. Sometimes it just takes a few more steps or a few more products, but it's all about doing it simply. So anyways, we're gonna flip the camera down and get started so I can give you an up-close picture of these fun springy cards. Like I said, it's all about butterflies and the Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. So I just want to give you a quick peek at the cards, and then we're going to come back to them and I'm going to show you a few more things about each one. Now I have to apologize. You'll notice each of these uses the coordinating ribbon that was part of the celebration offering. I don't think it's available anymore, and I apologize. I had made these cards already and I didn't feel like ripping the ribbon off, but you could put any other ribbon on here and I promise they'll look just as cute. Now, like I said, we are focusing on the Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. So that's on page 35 of your Occasions catalog. Now, if you don't have a catalog, let's see, cover looks like this. If you don't have a catalog and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, make sure you head over to my blog. You can click on Request a Catalog, and I would be happy to send you one of these free. So either that or email me, but I would love to get you a catalog if you need one. Now we're talking about this Designer Series paper. It comes in 6x6 sheets, and it comes in these 5 gorgeous colors. Now, the thing with this is you've got the larger gingham on one side and smaller on the other side. So you have your choice. You know what? If Stampin' Up's listening, please give this to us in every single color. I love it. Now, the other product that we're using are the Butterfly Beauty Thinlit dies. Now, it is a bundle with Beauty Abounds, and we're going to finish off our cards with some stamps out of this one as well. Now, normally, I always tell you guys when you see a stamp set and framelits that you like, they usually coordinate, buy them together, you get 10% off. Well, that's still the case here, but if you don't care for the words or the images in Beauty Abounds, get just these dies because they are awesome. Now, great words here. I'm not going to deny you that, but it's these thinlits that you absolutely want. And when you see my cards and how quick and easy they are, I think you'll agree with me. So let's put this aside and we're going to get started sharing some tips for making the cards I have for you today. Now, like I said, these dies are big, and it looks like you got 2 that are pretty much the same, but they are made to layer on top of each other. So let's take a look at this card. So this is the Grapefruit Grove for your Gingham Designer Series paper there. And then my butterflies, I layered them with Poppy Parade underneath and the Grapefruit Grove on top. So I really took each of the colors. We've got the gorgeous grape with the Highland Heather, Pacific Point with the balmy blue. I just picked another color that was, I guess it's usually darker in each case, to do the butterflies. And then you just got to kind of think when you decide which one you want to cut out with one. If you look, especially on the back here, you can tell this is the more bold one. This one's the more detailed one. So you want your bold one to be whatever color it is that you want underneath your card. So let's go ahead and cut using our blue. Like I said, we've got Pacific Point and Balmy Blue. I want my Pacific Point to be my more detailed one. Now, people ask a lot of times about big shot sandwiches, so that's what I really want to share with you guys today. I have my magnetic platform, and then I am going to put the precision base plate on top of it. Now, the precision base plate is an absolute necessity, in my book anyway, whenever you're doing dies that have a lot of detail. This is what's going to help give you a really good cut and make those pieces just kind of fall out for you. You don't really need the magnetic platform. The reason I'm using it is if you use the regular platform, you do need to use the thin die adapter, which isn't a big deal. It's just one more piece, but I like to just grab the magnetic one because then I don't have to worry about the thin die adapter. Now, be careful though. This is metal and it like sticks to this, the magnets. You got to be careful so you don't pinch your finger. So I'm always very careful when I set this down here, holding out here on the edge to let it pop down. You hear it kind of snap in place. Then just make sure it's in the right spot. Put down your cardstock. And this is the more solid one, the less detailed one, even though it's very detailed. We'll put that image on there, and then we're going to put a clear plate on top. When you're using the precision base plate, that replaces one of the clear plates. So that's our sandwich. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through the Big Shot. Now you'll get to know your Big Shot. Mine, when I do these detailed ones, I actually run it through 2 times. So I go forward and then backward. Some people I've talked to said they do theirs 3 times. Some only need it 1. You know, they're all kind of calibrated just a little bit differently. So you'll figure out what works best for you. So we're going to take that off, and you'll see how easy this pops out. Now there's a lot of pieces kind of stuck in there. This is where that Big Shot die brush comes in real handy. You can brush over this and it will get most of the pieces out. I kind of go all directions with it, and that'll get quite a few of them to pop out. And then sometimes, and again, this one is super detailed, I like to use my piercing tool. Okay, so sometimes if you just get it started, this one seems to be stuck in there pretty good. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. You might have to work just a smidgen to get these out. So we'll get that out. You know, you got to just be a little bit careful because there's so many fine little edges and details with it. So just work around, get this big old giant butterfly out there. And then I usually set it down, and if there's any pieces, oh, it looks like I ripped it a little bit, that's okay. But if there's any pieces, I like to just poke them out using this. And if you do it right here on this pad, it seems to help them come out really easy. So we'll just work our way around. There's a few more stuck here, or you can even use your brush right on the cardstock. It will get them out. So we'll just get all those pieces. And then there we have it. There is our darker Pacific Point one. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing using Balmy Blue. So we'll lay our cardstock down. We'll put our more detailed one. So this one's super detailed, and plastic plate on top. And then let's go run this one through the Big Shot. There we go. And once again, we'll just kind of get it out of there the best we can. That one's kind of, there we go. And we'll move this and we'll bring in that die brush. You know, these die brush is just one of these super handy little tools to have when you're doing very detailed stuff, because it will get a lot of this to fall out. Look at how much we got. Tap that off. And then if we can just get this started, you know, sometimes it's just finding that edge that's popped up the best. And we'll get this one out of here. Now this one's even more detailed than that other one, so sometimes there's stuck in little places. So we'll get that out of there. And then again, you can see there's a few spots where I've got extra pieces, so we'll just go ahead and use the piercing tool and poke those little buggers out. If you don't have the piercing tool, there's also the Take-A-Pick tool that we have now that has a piercing end on it. That I use that all the time too. I just happen to kind of have both of them sitting around. So whichever one here, we got quite a few. There we go. I think we have all of them out. We have mess of paper scraps everywhere. And then you'll see how beautifully this layers right on top of it. Now, I played around with a lot of different adhesives, and I know there's the adhesive sheets, and I tried those. The problem was there's so much here to set down. I was having a hard time lining it up, so that wasn't my adhesive of choice. I really am going right back to my Tombow liquid, which I use all the time. And just kind of hit the bodies with a little bit. Now, you don't have very big areas, so make sure you don't put too much because you don't want it gooshing out. And then if you know, find wherever there's a little bit larger spot, put a little dab on there. And this adhesive, it holds so well, so it's going to stay down. And personally, I kind of liked how the butterflies seemed to flap around a little bit instead of being, you know, down solid. And then take it, and this is why I like this adhesive too, because you can kind of slide it a little bit. So we'll go and we'll match up this big one in the center, and then we can come up here and try to match up this one. And just kind of move around to get them to line up, because they're so thin that they do, you know, bend a little bit. And so it's, you know, to me, if I lined up the bodies, I thought, well, that's pretty good. So there is our blue one. Now, what I want to do is I'm not going to do any stamping, but I'm going to show you all of the cards that I made and give you a couple of tips, and then make sure you hop on over to the blog post because I will have pictures of the cards along with the recipes for every one of them. So they're really just different layouts that you can easily do and mix and match your colors. So we might as well start with our blue. You can see I kept, the butterfly all intact like it was there. A lot of these I embossed in with white powder and black. I love that look. Just kind of angled my white a little bit, and then in the inside I did use the stamp set. So we stamped some of the little butterflies and some of the great greetings in that stamp set. Then with this one, we've got the Highland Heather along with the gorgeous grape. Again, pretty standard layout with our gingham. We've got the small gingham showing. I think I used small on most of them. And again, a little banner there. And like I said, coordinating ribbons. Sorry, I don't think you can get that anymore. And then stamped a little bit of fun on the inside. And for this one, now this one's a little bit different. You can see here, we can see that gingham showing through on there. With this one, and I don't know, I actually cut out another set of the white. Well, no, I take that back. It was kind of a pain. I laid some white cardstock down under there and I trimmed around the outsides so that I could get white that showed through my butterfly. It took me a little while, but it worked because I wanted the white in there. And then again, we're stamped on the inside. Now for my one using the lemon lime twist and Call Me Clover, I cut the butterflies apart and just used the 3 smaller ones. So once I glued them together, I just came in here and I kind of cut them apart. I still have the big ones I can use for something else, and then I just spread the butterflies out like so. And then the final card, we've got Daffodil Delight along with Soft Suede, and I took just the big one. So I had all the little yellow butterflies that I can use later on a project. And once again, stamped the inside, put a little bit of the designer series paper under there, and there we go. So there are 5 different cards, all laid out just a little bit differently, all using those butterfly thinlits and the Gingham Gala designer series paper. So if you have any questions, as always, make sure to ask. I'm here to help you with all your stamping needs, all your stamping questions. And remember, I'm all about making stamping simple. These cards really are simple, just a little putsy, to poke all the pieces out of here, but they're all simple. And I think your friends and family will be delighted when you send them a card with one of these. So until I get to stamp with you again, have a stamp happy day.